Good day, everybody. Today is June 27th. Once again, I'm here to read to you a book. And this time, it's The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. The last time, I read to you the foreword. So before we proceed with the chapters of this book, I would like to read the first writings here about Covey, so we would be able to know him better, who's really the writer of this book, what kind of person he is, and what are his experiences and challenges before he completed this book. So let me read to you today a Covey family tribute to a highly effective father. There is no doubt that our father's habit of sharpening the saw ultimately saved a life that day in Montana. Growing up, we often saw him doing what he called winning the daily private victory. Early in the morning by meditating, reading his scriptures, and exercising. That particular afternoon, he was quietly reading on the beach while enjoying the beautiful view of the lake when he heard a faint cry. "Help me." Using the binoculars he always seemed to carry with him to search for wildlife, he zoomed in on a fisherman's float tube out in the lake. Someone was desperately hanging on to the edge, about to fall into the ice-cold water. Quickly, our father jumped onto his jet ski and reached the tube, where he found a heavily intoxicated man. He pulled him onto his jet ski and brought him back to shore. He then searched for the man's family at a nearby campground and found they were totally unaware he was even missing, as they had been drinking as well. A few years later, the man he rescued related this story to a large group, claiming it was a turning point in his life. Unaware of who had rescued him that day, he was grateful that someone had cared enough to hear his cry and save him. This incident is symbolic of our father, Stephen R. Covey, who was a type of lifeline not only to his posterity of 9 children and 54 grandchildren, but also to a multitude of people and organizations who have been inspired and forever changed by the 7 habits of highly effective people. He always acknowledged he didn't even invent these habits, as they were based on universal principle of natural laws, such as responsibility, integrity, abundance, and renewal. But he also believed that the common sense isn't always common practice, and thus he devoted his life to getting his message to as many people as possible. After his passing in July 2012, our family realized the scope and magnitude of his lifelong mission to unleash human potential, better in private as a husband and father, and beloved him for that consistency. We all knew that Dad would rather spend time with his family than with anyone else, and he proved it by how he managed his time and put first things first. Though he traveled a lot under many demands on his time, he rarely missed anything really important to us, like a birthday or a basketball game, sometimes planning up to 2 years in advance. He continually made deposits into each of our emotional bank accounts, with one-on-one dates, and modeled that in relationships, the little things are the big things. He was the master of teaching moments and would apply true principles to whatever we're dealing with, encouraging us to make decisions based on our values and not how we felt in the moment. He taught by example that life is a mission and not a career, and that we could find true happiness by serving others. Dad adored our mother, Sandra, and had a remarkable relationship with her for 56 years. A few times a week, they had a ritual of connecting with each other. They would take a ride on a Honda motorbike, driving slowly enough to talk it over while they enjoyed the scenery and just being together. They called each other on the phone 2 or 3 times a day, even when he was out of town. They discussed everything under the sun, from politics to great books to raising kids. And Dad valued her opinion more than anyone else's. He was a deep thinker and had a tendency to be too theoretical. Mom was an excellent sounding board and would help him simplify and make his material practical, saying, "Oh, Stephen, this is way too complicated. No one knows what you've even talking about. Keep it simple and tell more stories." He loved the feedback. Now, with children of our own, we marvel at their win-win relationships and reflect on how they enjoy such a happy life together. Dad had a beautiful definition of leadership. He taught that leadership is communicating others' worth and potential so clearly that they are inspired to see it in themselves. Right after our father passed away, a man who had grown up under very rough circumstances relayed this message, which encompasses what he really was about. "I want your family to know that I still have the 20-minute affirmation tape he made for me 30 years ago, where, among other things, he told me that God loved me, that I would go to college, and that I would have a family of my own one day." Listen to it all the time over the past 30 years, and I've accomplished everything he saw in me. I'm not who I am without him. Thank you. At the significant anniversary of the 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, and amid the accolades and the millions of lives and thousands of organizations this book has influenced, the Stephen R. Covey family of children wish to pay tribute to a highly effective family man, just as he rescued a drowning man years ago. We trust that his life and words will continue to extend similar lifelines to you and your family, to your team and organization, and to countless other people and causes. Given the turbulent world in which we find ourselves today, we believe the timeless principles of the 7 habits are more relevant than ever before, and that the message and impact of the 7 habits is only just beginning. We will always be grateful for such a great father and papa, as the grandkids like to call him. His legacy now lives in us and in all those who have been influenced by his magnificent spirit and inspiring teachings, to live lives of integrity, to contribute and make a difference in the world, and to rise to the greatness that lies within each of us. Sincerely, the Stephen R. Covey children, Cynthia, Maria, Stephen, Sean, David, Catherine, Colleen, Jenny, and Joshua. So that's Stephen Covey's family. So next, or tomorrow, I'll be reading also the foreword to the 2004 edition. Then after that, we'll already be on the part 1 of the book. The title is Paradigms and Principles, and we're going to read the first topic, Inside Out. So thank you again, everyone, for listening. Have a good day. Take care always, and God bless. Let's learn together. Okay, God bless.